Apple has done it again. Now, as if iOS 14 hadn't done enough damage with the way it affected Facebook ads, iOS 15, which is now available for download from September 20th, has come and affected the way that we handle and manage email marketing. So we're going to be talking about all of this in this video today, guys. The first element I want to touch on is how this is affecting our Klaviyo accounts and the data that's going to be passed through. And secondly, what we're doing specifically in my business to go ahead and mitigate the damage or the effect of iOS 15 coming up to Q4. So if you guys are new here to the channel, my name is Josh and I'm a 7-figure entrepreneur who loves all things productivity, personal finance, and e-commerce. So with all that said, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this one. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So a few months ago, I did a video just talking about all of the changes that are coming with iOS 15. Now, if you guys haven't seen it already, I will link it for you guys right here. Would recommend you guys to go ahead and watch that one just so you have an idea of what is here and how to address it. But if you guys don't want to, that's fine. I'm gonna give you guys a quick summary anyway. Now, the first thing is we're now not able to see how consumers act on the email platform, right? So open rates, click rates, all of these kinds of things, also locations are going to be affected. Pretty much Apple is giving their users more control of their privacy in terms of hiding the actions that they take on the platform. Now, if you guys are just getting started in your e-commerce journey, I should note that this video might not be as relevant to you. However, you should be making sure that you're staying up to date of the changes that are coming and affecting this e-commerce industry, right? Because you guys are wanting to jump in. Now, it's going to give you guys a slight advantage against all of your competitors because email marketing SMS should always be implemented at the very beginning of your journey as soon as you start to run traffic to your site. All right, so I know that it all sounds pretty advanced and all these kinds of things, but I want you guys to still take it on board and try to think about, okay, how is this going to affect how I do email marketing from here on out? Okay, so now that you guys understand a quick overview of what's happening with iOS 15, let's have a chat about what you guys can specifically expect in your Klaviyo accounts. So the first one is obviously the open rates being significantly inflated. So if you guys aren't aware, the way that open rates are calculated is that there is a tracking code on every single email that goes out. So whenever anyone opens that email, that tracking code is fired or triggered, and therefore that plays into calculating the open rates. Now with iOS 15, what's actually going to happen is there's going to be a constant kind of like analysis or loading of all emails, pretty much saying that all emails are going, this tracking code is going to consistently fire, and therefore it's going to really affect our open rates. Now, the second change that we can expect in our Klaviyo accounts is the fact that we will no longer be able to segment down our audiences based on where they're from in terms of their state or their zip codes, right? Because of the fact of iOS 15 and the mail privacy protection program pretty much protecting or hiding their specific location based on IP. Now, the third element is also the revenue attributions to be significantly inflated as well. As open rates are inflated, Klaviyo will have no idea where the revenue is coming from which campaign, which flow, etc. So we're going to see some inflation in that sense as well. Now, I know all of this sounds pretty grim, right? It doesn't sound too good for us, but I'm going to quickly say that this is not the end of email marketing. Email marketing plays a huge role of all e-commerce brands, representing anywhere from 20 upwards of 40% of overall revenues. So for us to say, oh, email marketing is dead, nah, it's not the case. Okay, so I just want to quickly preface that and let you guys know that it's not the end of the world. All right. Now, I know what you guys are thinking in terms of like, what the heck is this guy talking about with open rates and why this matters to us, right? Or why does this iOS 15 update really matter to us e-commerce entrepreneurs? The reason for this is because if you have a look on my screen right now, right, you can see that, for example, in the last 30 days for this one business, we've gone ahead and generated about $105,000. Now, out of that, the revenue from Klaviyo, which is the email marketing side, is actually 32%, which actually represents on a dollar figure, it's $33,125 or $128, sorry. Now, why this matters and why open rates matter, right, is because the way that usually email marketers go ahead and optimize, whether a campaign is doing good or a flow is doing good or whatever, is dependent on the open rates rather than the click-through rates, right? We want to, kind of optimize the headlines, the titles, and all of this kinds of stuff to try to get as many people to open the email in the inbox, right? The reason why this is so important is because, every single person is getting emailed, multiple times per day, like hundreds of emails per day, right? So when we go ahead and optimize this, we always try to optimize based on open rates. But with open rates being inflated, it really kind of affects the way that we are going to manage email marketing in the future. Just wanted to quickly throw this in there to give you guys some context as to why this is so important. All right, so let's go ahead and continue and talk about why this revenue attribution, or how this revenue attribution thing has changed. Now, I want to quickly address and kind of share what Klaviyo has specifically said about this revenue attribution. Now, as you guys know, with iOS 14, revenue attributions on the Facebook ad platform really does affect the way that we make decisions, and it's going to be more or less the same with iOS 15 and the effect of email marketing, right? But with Klaviyo, what they're pretty much saying is that they're going to start to implement something called a click-based attribution. So they're going to try and make sure that every sale that comes is only attributed back to the click, okay, rather than just the opens. Now, they're going to give you guys the choice, but generally speaking, most people in the field, email marketers, are saying, hey, you should just go for click-based attributions modeling, right? It's just going to be the better way because open rates are going to be significantly inflated, and as more and more people adopt it, it's just going to be the better choice. Alright, so now that we've gone ahead and talked about the changes that are coming with iOS 15 and also the changes that you can expect in your Klaviyo accounts and also how the attribution models are going to change, I want to now spend a little bit of time and talk to you guys about exactly what I'm doing in my businesses to try to mitigate the damage of iOS 15. So I hope you guys get some value out of this. I'm not going to go through specifically what I'm doing or how to. Those that can wait for another video if that's something that you guys want. So let me know down in the comments below if you want me to break down how to do each of these things in a future video. Now, the first thing that I'm going ahead and doing is going heavy on list building. Now, I know that whenever Apple launches a new update, that they're very slow to adopt, the users. I mean, they're usually very slow to adopt. They don't want to go and face the bugs and all that kinds of stuff. So right now is the best time to be list building. Now, the way I do list building is by running a giveaway in my niche. So I use a program called Viper.io to host a giveaway, right? And they have to do certain actions like sign up for their email, sign up their SMS, follow my Facebook page, follow my Instagram page, follow my TikTok, buy our product, post UGC, whatever I want, right? And for every action that they take, they get certain points. Now, at the end of the contest, the points are all tallied up, and then the grand prize is issued, and also the second prize and third prize, right? So the reason I do this is because I can generate a lot of leads at very, very low cost, right? So I'm investing into the future and trying to purchase people for a lower cost as opposed to running just cold conversion campaigns. Right? So like as a tip, the way I run my giveaways is that I choose my niche, right? And then in that niche, I have a look for what is the most extravagant kind of product out there that people will always want, and it would be nice to have, but they don't want to spend their own money of. So if I take the sun protection niche as an example, I could go ahead and run a giveaway of a sun cabana. Or in the pet niche, I do something like running a like a gift bundle that's valued at $1,000, right? So by doing this, it makes sure that the people who are coming into the contest or the leads that I'm generating are somewhat qualified. They're interested in my product, and they're gonna want to see my content later down the track. Now, the second thing that I'm doing is going ahead and emailing every single person that's on my email list. So we have tens of thousands of people on our email lists, but on our SMS list, it's only a fraction of the amount. So what I'm going ahead and doing is saying, hey, if you guys want to go ahead and sign up to our SMS list, I'm going to give you guys a free gift. For example, something that costs, $2, $3, $4 or whatever. And I'm just going to give them and incentivize them for that. Because with SMS, we're able to directly target them and directly send them an SMS whenever we run a promotion, right? So there's high engagement, high open rates, high click-throughs, and it's just going to put that promotion top of mind, and also our brand top of mind whenever we're running a sale for Black Friday. Now, the third thing that we're doing is going heavy on list cleaning. So when you do list building activities, there are potentials for kind of like the tire kicker, window shopper kind of people coming in, and I don't really want that, right? I'll go ahead, and if they haven't opened an email, if they haven't, clicked on an email, or if they haven't bought anything or engaged with any of my content, then I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them off my list. Because if you have these people who are not opening, not clicking, not buying, or not converting, right, they're really worth very little to us. So that affects our deliverability and all of our open rates and everything like that in terms of our metrics on Klaviyo, and that really determines whether or not we go into the primary, spam, or promotions folder. Alright, so I want to make sure that my list is as clean and squeaky clean as possible as iOS 15 starts to be more adopted. Now the fourth thing that we're going ahead and doing is training up my graphics team to make sure that they understand that whenever I create any email content, that I want it to be extremely clickable. So we're using GIFs of kind of arrows pointing towards the call to action, and just making sure that all the content that we have is extremely clickable, right? Because with all this click-based attributions and all that, I want to make sure that our consumers are more incentivized or kind of encouraged to click on a certain thing on the email rather than just open it. Now the final thing that we're doing is going deeper into understanding what my customers' needs, wants, and desires are for my given niches, right? So what we're doing is sending out customer satisfaction surveys, asking them for reviews, asking them for like, hey, how can we serve you better, right? Because as privacy becomes a more important issue and people want to hide their activities online, this kind of tracking issues and open rate issues and all of that is going to be more and more kind of common. Okay, so I want to make sure that my customers, whenever they see our brand, wherever it is, whether it be Google, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever, right, that they see our brand and they're like, oh yeah, I want to go ahead and look at what they're creating because I like them. They've always given me value, right? And that really can only come after you understand exactly what it is that your product can do for your customer, and when you focus more on providing value rather than just trying to hammer them with sales and trying to get them to buy products just the one time. Okay, so now we're at the end of the video. I hope you guys got some value out of this to try to understand exactly the changes that have come with iOS 15, the changes that you can expect to see in your Klaviyo accounts, and also the action points that you can go ahead and do right now based on what we're doing in our businesses. Okay, so let me know guys if you guys want any deeper dives in any of those 5 topics that I'm doing right now. So with all that being said guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure you go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really does help out the channel more than you can know. Also go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know exactly when I'm dropping another video. And also, if you guys haven't already, I would recommend you guys to go ahead and watch this video. This video is going to be diving deeper into iOS 15 and exactly the changes that are coming with it. And I would recommend you guys go ahead and watch this. It's so important to understand exactly the changes that are coming so you can be better prepared and also have a competitive advantage against all the other dropshippers or the other e-commerce entrepreneurs in this space.